Trisha, in 2010, I read one interview where you said, "I don't believe in dating." Has that statement changed? I don't want to ask the inevitable question.
No, I don't believe in the stereotype dating. That's a better way to put it. I do believe when you're in a relationship, you do things like, for me, dating is very stereotype. Like, I think of it in a very American way, you know, like where you go out and you're getting to know each other and, oh, are you having dinner? I find that a bit boring. For me, getting to know someone has always been about maybe just casually talking. It has to be very impromptu, very spontaneous. That works better for me. So you eventually date, I feel, after you know you're with someone, you know. That has worked better for me, at least in my case.
Right. So can I ask you that inevitable question?
Whether I'm dating? No. Today, at this minute, at this point, I'm not dating anybody. No, I'm actually going through a very peaceful phase of my life. Of course, I've dated people and I've been in relationships, but today it's more about learning to be with myself. I think there was a time I felt, oh God, I don't know what I'm going crazy alone. But today I'm happy in my own skin. I like being alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I read this another story, Trisha, where you said that you're not a big fan of rain because you were made to dance for almost a month for Varsham with Prabhas.
Yes.
And are there more things in the list that you can't stand at all?
Rain is one thing. I'm phobic. I'm phobic with water because it was about 145 days of just not only shooting in the rain. It took a toll on me because we shot in winter, we shot in summer, and Hyderabad at one point we shot in Jan when it was freezing. So for me, and it's just not rain, you know. It's about 9 to 6 sitting in wet, just sitting in the wet field, and then having rain on you throughout, which is one of the reasons why I just couldn't get myself to sign the Tamil version of the film. I just couldn't do it. I said, no, I can't deal with another year of this. So today it's okay because I've not done a rain film continuously like that. After that. And dancing is something that still, when they tell me song sequence, madam, Adu, fast song, I'm like, oh God, it still gives me a little bit of a thing, how is it going to be? It just scares me a little bit, but then I'm definitely used to it after these many films. Otherwise, I'm okay. Otherwise, I'm fine. Yeah, otherwise everything is in check. As long as I'm told what to do, I have a little bit of rehearsal time, I'm good.
Right. Okay, Trisha, recently you posted Mohini first look poster, right? And this is, that again is, you're playing a dual role in the film. Or triple role?
No,
dual role.
Dual.
Yeah. And
they're not, it's not twins, but.
Okay.
It's not twins, it's in two different, very, not eras, it's in two, like there's a flashback and there's a present. It's like that. So she's not like playing, she doesn't have a twin.
Right. So this is the third back-to-back horror or thriller film, right?
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, correct.
So are you actually fond of that genre?
I am very fond of the genre, but I do think I did want to take a break from it because there were too many horror films doing the rounds. But Mohini was something I just couldn't say no to because I really liked the script, and even then I thought, is it okay to do a horror film this soon because I've just had one after the other, but it was a script I really, really liked. Something that was so entertaining, it had everything, it had a love story, it had a horror, comedy portion, and but now I'm consciously not going to sign a horror film at least for a few months, at least break it and sign something else and then get back to that genre.
Right. So we hear there's an underwater segment in the film.
Yeah.
Would you want to tell
it's very challenging, very difficult because shooting underwater and holding your breath is one thing. Of course, they take very small shots, but keeping your eyes open. And also the thing is, underwater you don't have a steady posture, you know, so you have to make sure you're favoring the camera and things like that. So this fight we still have 4 more days to go for the fight, and it's something it's also a bit exhausting. So starting from wearing a rubber suit is again it's water, but it's a little different. I like this kind of water is okay. Rain is something that I don't know, I'm just so phobic with. This kind of water is different, and I love the water. I love swimming, and I'm a deep sea diver. So for me, it's very challenging to do something like this, but it's also very difficult because you have to invariably go for a few takes because you know the camera sometimes doesn't capture what it needs to. And so but it's fun. I've never done an underwater sequence at all in the last 50 films. I never have. So it's the first time I'm doing that.
Do you believe in the supernatural?
I believe in ghosts.
Yeah?
Yes, I believe in spirits.
Did you have
I've not,
any,
but I do believe in them because I've read
is it
up.
because you heard or? Okay,
I
right.
went through this phase in college for 2 years where I was so intrigued with the supernatural that I have even tried the Ouija board. I've tried connecting to spirits. I've done all this. And you know how kids do all these things, you know, crazy things. It's something that I completely backed off from after a point because I feel it's bringing on negative energy.
Right.
I don't know why. I've read up a lot. I just feel they do exist. We're not the only people out here. We do. There are spirits. I do believe in people who feel their lives are not complete. They stay back as spirits.
Did you start believing it after you started getting into this genre of films? Or
No,
was
I've
it
always
even
had. And my
before?
mom has told me a story where she had a very strange experience with the Ouija board where it actually moved and they could feel things. And you know, after that, my grandmom was like, absolutely no Ouija boards in this house or anything like that. So I've felt things, but I've never, thank God, I've never really seen them. I would freak out if I did. But, and I love horror films. Things like, okay, say like I watch them alone. It gives me a kick. I watch them alone. And things like even The Conjuring and stuff, they're all based on true events. So what's there not to believe?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Do you have such days like when you don't want to meet people? Does that also happen because you are always amidst so many people on sets or even otherwise?
I think it could be that. Also, see, the thing is, I suffer very strongly from a single child syndrome. I'm very used to being by myself, you know. I have always slept alone. I've been tuned to that. Like even sharing a room with someone would after a point I'm like, oh God, I just want my space.
Yeah.
So people don't even understand me when I say I work 9 to 6 and after that I want to be holed up in my room. Even if it's abroad, they're like, why? Why don't you go out? You're in such a beautiful... But I like